Hey, today is November 18th, and there's a lot of anniversaries and birthdays on that particular date. Outside of Disney, it's when the date Calvin and Hobbes launched, and the Sesame Street adults saw Mr. Snuffleupagus for the first time in 1985. It's when the original Powerpuff Girls series premiered at Cartoon Network in 1998. It's when Warner Brothers Animation introduced Merlin the Magic Mouse in 1967, as seen in a few YouTube poops on this channel. And on the Disney side of things, it's when Oliver and Company was released in 1988, and perhaps most importantly, when Steamboat Willie was first released in 1928. Yep, today's Mickey Mouse's 96th birthday, and so I, the Big Bad Wolf, will be presenting another interesting little chapter in the history of Disney's book and audio read-alongs. Look at this. Yep, this is Mickey's Tattered Tale, a read-along title from 1988 that was actually loosely adapted from the 1947 cartoon short Mickey's Delayed Date. Apparently, in addition to adapting the company's movies and their popular anime TV shows at the time, Disney Records attempted to launch a series of read-along stories starring Mickey and his friends, given that logo there, i.e. the Sensational Six, possibly for celebrating Mickey Mouse's 60th birthday that year. But the only titles that come from that were this and Donald's Pooch Parlor. Though in the early 1990s, they did have a short series of Minnie and Me book and audio read-along titles. But this is interesting since this was adapted from an older Disney cartoon short. I think the only other time Disney Records did that was when they adapted the Brave Little Tailor short into a read-along story in 1968. But that was now out of print. Since a year before this title came out, Disney discontinued vinyl record read-alongs, making them be only available on compact cassette. Since the late 1980s, tapes and CDs were pretty much eclipsing records. And besides, cassettes are easier for little kids to handle than records. What with several toy companies making tape recorders for children, they can also be played in automobiles with a cassette deck. To be honest though, I prefer the records. They're easier for an old tune like me to work. Oh, and if my friend Tilt Longtail is watching, sorry I'm presenting a story featuring that dumb mutt Pluto. But enough of this yakking. Let's see the pictures, hear the tape, and read the book. There.
This is the story of Mickey's Tattered Tale. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page.
That's the late William Woodson narrating.
Let's begin now. Winter was over, and Mickey Mouse was doing some spring cleaning. With Pluto beside him, he had washed the windows, scrubbed the floors, and dusted his house from bedpost to banister. When he finished the inside, he turned to the outside, spraying a new coat of yellow paint on the fence.
There, that should just about do it, huh? Okay, Pluto, let's call it quits. Pluto, where are you, boy?
See, here's the difference already. In the original cartoon, Mickey and Pluto were just napping. But here, Mickey's doing spring cleaning.
Pluto stepped out from behind the freshly painted fence.
And you notice it's the late Wayne Allwine doing Mickey Mouse's voice. As by this time, Disney Records is starting to have him voice Mickey more often,
I guess you picked the wrong
rather than the
place to take a nap.
recently deceased
Just
Pete
then, a
Renaday.
familiar voice rang out.
Yoo-hoo! Mickey!
It was Minnie Mouse. On her way home
There's
from a
late Russie
morning
Taylor as Minnie Mouse.
Mickey laughed.
Oh, hi, Minnie. I was just doing some spring cleaning with my pet zebra, Pluto.
Yeah.
When Mickey explained what had happened, Minnie smiled.
Now there's one more thing to clean. Pluto!
She giggled and started up the sidewalk.
Just got the usual Disney read-along stop music, too.
Here tonight, Mickey.
Tonight?
Mickey Mouse, you forgot your keys, your wallet, and now our date. It's at the ballroom, remember? You have to wear special clothes. I'll see you there at 6, and don't forget the tickets.
Hey, we all can't be perfect.
After Minnie left, Mickey washed the stripes off Pluto and the two of them went inside.
Gee, Pluto, Minnie said to wear something special, but my nice suit's at the cleaners. Hey, I've got it. I'll buy a tuxedo.
Why not just rent one? Save a little money that
on
way.
a fancy black tuxedo and top hat.
In the original cartoon, Mickey already had a tuxedo and top hat available, compared to buying it from a clothes store here. And the top hat became alive for a bit and gave Pluto some trouble. But that was mostly visual, so it'd be hard to translate to a book and audio read-along like this.
Sorry, Pluto, but you can't go to the ball. You stay home, and I'll see you later tonight.
He petted his long-eared friend and pulled the door shut behind him. As Pluto stared sadly at the door, he noticed a flash of color on the table. It was the tickets.
Yep, that happened in the original.
He barked, but Mickey was gone. Pluto tried to open
I
the
think
door,
that's
but the
Bill
knob
Farmer
was
doing
turned.
Pluto's barking.
He looked around and saw an open window high up one wall. Clutching the tickets between his teeth, Pluto climbed a bookcase, balanced on a lamp, and lunged for the window. Somehow he slid through.
Of course, they cast Bill Farmer as Pluto since Pinto Calvin used to do Pluto's vocal effects.
And headed off down the street. Mickey, meanwhile, was on his way to catch a bus when he passed the flower shop. He went inside and was greeted by the florist, a Frenchman with a mustache.
A mustache.
Yes, my friend. How may I help you?
I was looking for some roses. Do you have any?
Now, here's another difference. Mickey didn't buy roses for Minnie in the original cartoon.
1,000
No
of the
flowers
most
or anything.
beautiful red roses you will ever see.
Gosh, those are swell. I'll take them.
After Mickey paid for the roses, the florist took his arm and guided him toward a back room.
And now, monsieur, I will show you my hobby. Prepare yourself for a magnificent sight.
He threw
But
open the
Mickey's
door
got something to go
a
to.
room full of animals. But these weren't real animals. They were all made of flowers. There were birds and leopards and zebras and giraffes.
And a hippo and a walrus.
Flower sculptures. I work hard on these, and someday I hope to fulfill my life's dream, to decorate a float for the Rose Parade.
Mickey reached for another door.
What's in here?
My other hobby. But please, monsieur, don't open the door.
Oh, Mickey!
It was too late. Through the opening poured hundreds and hundreds of angry bees. The florist sprinted for the exit.
Follow me, monsieur.
Given how much of a goody-goody straight man Mickey can be, he wouldn't do something like
Buzzing
that.
Close behind, Mickey took off across the room. He knocked over a walrus, hurdled a hippo, and went skidding past the penguin and through the exit. Before the bees could escape, the florist slammed the exit door. Mickey looked down at himself.
My new tuxedo. It has holes in the knees and stains all over it.
Well, that's not how Mickey damaged his tuxedo in the original cartoon. I'll explain in a bit.
Let me pay for them.
Please, think nothing of it. I will simply make new one.
That's a good
glanced at the
attitude
bouquet
for
of
a
roses.
Minnie won't be too impressed with my tuxedo, but at least these roses still look nice.
He thanked the florist and hurried off to catch his bus. A little while later,
There's some familiar Disney read-along stop music you may have heard before.
Furiously. The florist's eyes lit up.
But of course, that's it.
He grabbed Pluto and pulled him into the shop.
A living sculpture. Monsieur Pooch, you will be my greatest creation.
That's kind of inhumane.
Inside, the florist glued gardenias to Pluto's back and carnations to his tail.
Oof.
But he pasted petunias
That's
to his
got-
collar.
that'll
The
kinda
dog's
hurt.
nose began to twitch.
There's a classic Disney
The
sound
force of
effect.
the sneeze sent Pluto flying out of the man's grasp. Seizing his chance, Pluto sprinted out the door.
Monsieur Pooch, come back. You're my masterpiece.
Gradually, the cries died away as Pluto raced down the sidewalk, still clutching the tickets between his teeth. He stopped in a vacant lot and rolled in the grass to get rid of the flowers. Then he put his nose to the ground, took a few sniffs, and hurried off.
That keen canine sense of smell.
2 blocks down the street, Pluto spotted him. Mickey was just getting onto a city bus.
Why not? Mickey has a car. He could drive himself there. In the original cartoon, Mickey was just gonna walk to the ballroom.
Running after it, Pluto gathered his strength and jumped. He landed on the back bumper and hung on for dear life.
Don't try this at home.
Inside the bus, Mickey was trying to strike up a conversation with a woman sitting next to him.
And then the bees chased me, and wouldn't you know it, I messed up my brand new tuxedo. You see, I have a big date tonight.
You want me to go on a date tonight? I should say not.
No, ma'am. My date's with Minnie Mouse.
Come to my house. Oh, young man, I'm warning you.
She's obviously hard of hearing.
To explain.
But, ma'am...
Mickey should just stop right there.
Yes, for my own good, that does it.
A woman brought down her handbag on Mickey's head, crumpling his hat.
And that was a Hanna-Barbera sound effect. One that didn't fit too well, I might add. Also, the original cartoon, the wind blew away Mickey's top hat and he chased it for a while as Pluto tried to catch up with the tickets.
Came to a stop, and Mickey dove down the steps.
Another Hanna-Barbera sound.
The doors clattered shut on his bouquet of roses.
Driver, wait!
There's some classic Disney sound effects used in a somewhat unique kind of unique context.
There was a cloud of exhaust, and when it cleared, Mickey found himself seated on the ground, clutching one wilted rose. From his position on the bumper, Pluto looked back and saw Mickey, whimpering in relief. He hopped off and bounded toward his master. Just as Mickey was struggling to his feet, Pluto barreled into him, sending them both sprawling in a mud puddle.
What actually happened in the original cartoon is that Pluto sent Mickey rolling down a hill in a trash can. And that was how Mickey's tuxedo got damaged, his face dirty. And his hat even ended up being replaced with a tin can.
Gosh, I must have forgotten them at home. Oh, good boy, Pluto.
Also, Mickey didn't realize he forgot the tickets until he got right to the ballroom and met up with Minnie, when Pluto conveniently showed up with the tickets.
And looked around.
Well, Pluto, we're only a few blocks from the ballroom and it's almost 6 o'clock. There's not enough time to take you home. I guess you better come with me to meet Minnie.
Apparently it was a shorter distance away in the cartoon.
Toward the ballroom, where a moment later they saw Minnie waiting in front. She was wearing a long silk dress and a golden crown. Mickey straightened his collar, took a deep breath, and marched up to her.
Hi, Minnie. About my outfit. I can explain. You see,
Your outfit? Why, Mickey, it's wonderful.
it is.
Mickey looked down at his mud-stained tuxedo. Minnie beamed.
Of course, this is a costume ball, and you're just
I love costume balls.
And what a clever idea to bring along Pluto as the hobo
The
star.
original cartoon, it was even better because it was a Hard Times themed costume party with Minnie wearing a raggedy outfit to go with the theme.
As they started inside, Minnie turned to him.
Mickey, you did remember our tickets, didn't you?
Mickey pulled the tickets from his pocket. He looked down at Pluto and winked, then took Minnie's arm.
Of course, Minnie. Why, we went out of our way to make sure they didn't get lost. Didn't we, Pluto?
And now we get the song, Here's to the Ears of Love. It was taken from this album for the previous year, Mickey's Rock Around the Mouse, 50s themed. As I said before, which is why this song sounds kind of like one of the chase songs from a pup named Scooby-Doo. Now we just need the Disney characters doing the Kennedy kick dance to this. Even though this was well before Disney began having Kennedy cartoons animating their TV shows. Yeah, I will admit it's a cute song, and it was later included on a few newer compilation albums, probably because of its romantic nature.
That was the end of the story. If you'd like to hear it again, turn the tape over.
Well, if you want to hear it again, you can just start this video over after it finishes. The ejecting is always a little tricky for me with these big tune gloves, my paws. There. And there you have it, a loose adaptation of one of Mickey Mouse's classic shorts, Mickey's Delayed Date. You may recall seeing clips from that short in some of the Disney Channel's DTV music videos and their framing material in the 1987 Walt Disney Cartoon Classics video, Here's Mickey. And in that 1980 theatrical short featuring song excerpts from the Mickey Mouse Disco record. The Walt Disney Company sure got a lot of mileage out of footage from that Mickey cartoon. Maybe that's why they decided to make a read-along book and audio adaptation. Well, I'm guessing those changes are made to pad out the story, going from a 6-minute cartoon to a 10-minute audiobook story. And also any visual-only aspects need to be rewritten. Maybe they also got rid of the part with Mickey rolling downhill in a trash can so they wouldn't have to worry about some dumb kids trying to imitate it and hurting themselves. But that's something I shouldn't really talk about. Again, I wish Mickey and Minnie Mouse a happy 96th birthday, since Steamboat Willie was the first Mickey Mouse short released, despite being the third in production order. Plain Crazy was made first, but Walt Disney initially couldn't find a distributor for it. And as always, keep watching this YouTube channel to see whatever me, Zach Wolf, Sam Valentino, or whoever come up with next.